What's going on, everybody? It's a very special day for Guns N' Roses fans. So, if you guys remember, 25 years ago, the Use Your Illusion double albums were released. At that time, even now, it's very rare for a band to release a double album, especially when they hit number one and two on the Billboard charts. So, if you guys look on the internet, a lot of different websites are doing look backs at the Use Your Illusion albums. Rolling Stone did a pretty good write up. They used some excerpts from Slash's book, and they talked about how the albums were written. They talked about Steven Adler getting replaced, and Izzy being sort of not in the picture for a lot of the albums writing and making. And I gotta say, this may not be a popular opinion, but I prefer Use Your Illusion albums to Appetite for Destruction. Don't get me wrong, I love Appetite. It's a great album, but I find Use Your Illusion just artistically pushed the band into like even a more grandiose like direction. Like you look at November Rain, Estranged. I mean, sure, there's lots of filler on the albums. I feel like they could have made one album with great songs. There's a lot of filler like Shotgun Blues, My World. I can't think of any other songs. Maybe like Bad Apples, I'm not a huge fan of, but there's some really great songs and really underrated songs like Breakdown is a favorite of mine, Locomotive, even the alternate version of Don't Cry, I actually do like a lot. So I remember being a kid and the Use Your Illusions album coming out. My brother he had both of them, but he had them on like cassette tapes. And, watching MTV or Much Music, depending on where you were. And, November Rain was all over the place. Don't Cry was all over the place. There was such a big band back then, and that was Guns N' Roses at their peak popularity. And if you guys are like me, probably the holy grail for Guns N' Roses fans is that during the Use Your Illusion tour, which is about 2.5 years, they basically recorded every gig. They had a camera crew and a documentary crew following them around. They were going to be putting out a documentary about the Use Your Illusion tour called Perfect Crime. This has been substantiated by several sources, including Slash in his own book, Mark Cantor, who's one of Slash's close personal friends. But unfortunately, I guess around 1994, they were supposed to put it out, but that's when the tension grew in the band, and it just ended up getting put in the vault. So I'm hoping now that the partnership is working again between Axl, Slash, and Duff, that we someday see some sort of documentary about the Use Your Illusion tour, because to me, that was Guns N' Roses at its peak, and it was just excess. And, some people may say it's bloated, but, that's, to me, Guns N' Roses' most interesting period. It would have been interesting to see if they put out an album in 95 and 96, what that would have sounded like. But as you guys know from reading Guns N' Roses books and seeing interviews, that's when the band just could not communicate and function properly. So let me know your thoughts about the Use Your Illusion albums. Do you like them compared to Appetite? And what are some of your favorite songs? And would you guys like to see that Use Your Illusion documentary as well? There are a couple documentaries of the tour like that other networks did on YouTube, but I want to see the band's actual documentary too. Like, because, Del James was actually basically the band's biographer if you look at photographic history. And, I'm sure he's got some interesting stories too. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Comment down below. And as always, guys, make sure you subscribe for the latest Guns N' Roses news. Take care.